began my second career in this, so to speak. It was a very busy place, not unlike what Saskatoon is today. Advent Lutheran Church, where we were members, reflected this as people left and new people entered. We didn't spend much time together because both of us were busy. However, we both had the advantage of having parents that were stable, loving, and an excellent example. And I guess in reflection, we wanted that for ourselves. Eventually, after, I guess, 2.5 or 3 years almost of marriage in Thompson, my older brother had taken over the family farm, and with my dad's retirement, we decided that we needed a change. So in the spring of 1971, we decided to return and begin our farming career. At the time, farming was like stepping back in time. This, however, is what I think we needed. The business of farming seemed to come later. Yes, I think this was a positive experience for both Doris and I. Farming, I guess, isn't always easy, and it seemed like sometimes there were too many character-building years. However, we raised 3 children, 1 daughter and two twin boys, and we're very proud of who they've become. I believe returning to the farm developed in us a better commitment and more faithfulness to each other and also to our Christian faith and church community. In a small church, you just can't perceive what a Christian faith has to give. You have to give back, whether it's in time, talents. You develop patience and acceptance in people of where we are as well as where they are in their Christian journey. That, in the end, we all fall short in the eyes of God. After I guess 35 years of farming, my brother wanted to turn his farm over to his son, and as none of our family were prepared to take over, Doris and I thought we were ready for a change. So 4.5 years ago, we retired into the city of Saskatoon. Because church was always being important to us, we set about searching for a new place to worship. I would have to say that during this time we made ourselves step back and consider what we were looking for. We attended different churches in the city, seeking a place that to us was the most comfortable. I guess in the end we decided on Good Shepherd. I think we felt welcome mostly because it was a small, and we thought it was a better fit for what we were used to. Like I mentioned earlier, a faith community is more than a receiving. It has to be a balance of giving back to in some form or another. When I look at what members of Good Shepherd do to make the church as vibrant as it is, to me it is very humbling, and we are thankful that we are part of it. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you.
You don't usually clap for my sons, so that's pretty good. And we're collecting those as well, and we're going to do some sharing around some small groups as a plan. And even Hanley has asked for these vignettes of some of the statements. So with that, and before an additional word of meditation, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we do thank and praise you that you have come. You're with us now, and you're coming again. And in your real presence, as we continue to worship you, may your Spirit work in and through and among us. Take these words and speak in them. Take our minds and think in them. Take our hearts and continue to melt and mold us in the fire of your love. And in your love, make us increasingly accountable to you, so we might love you all the more, and our neighbors as ourselves. Gathered together as saints we are, again, not because of anything we've done or achieved, but because of your work on the cross and your presence through Jesus Christ our Lord, in whose name we pray and welcome one another in that embrace of your kingdom come. Amen. As we gather, you were asked, invited to put bells on, and we sang that amazing hymn. I want to thank Anna and choir and worship committee with those themes of flying free and being gathered. But within bells, as we had that planned for a little bit, I want to remind you of the Nobel Peace Prize winner in 1904, Pavel, Ivan Petrovich Pavlov. 1904, he won the Nobel Peace Prize, and if you remember the response, it was conditional reflex. Remember the bell? The concept was bring a meal to a dog, a test dog, and ring a bell. And then the dog would, with the meal, just like all we would, just as if I said lemon. And what would you do if you thought about lemon long enough? You wouldn't like lemons now, but we do kind of, well, we get saliva. For maybe something you like, pumpkin pie or French fries or whatever. But ring the bell, salve. With that, the experiment, as you well know, at one point, the meal did not come to the dogs, but we still rang the bell, and of course the dogs still salve. There you go. Conditional reflex. Now, that's not a new concept, but for us, the bell is intended to remind us when we hear the bell, those things that are important to us. Those people that perhaps stand beside us now or have gone before us, those people, if we think of the bell, we'll think of those people that have encouraged us in faith. And likewise, in the very positive sense, in terms of Christian faith, with the children, we talked about bells ringing for Christmas. And some of that, oh, we trust there's an emotional response of thanksgiving. Within the privilege of worship, we hear, come, all now is ready. There should be that conditional response with communion, where we come. Where we hear the music and we want to sing. There's many conditional responses, and those are good. We teach children as well, when you receive something, always say, thank you. It's a conditional and learned response. And rejoice for that opportunity. In contrast, we as humans have negative conditional reflexes. And I'll give you an example of an elephant. And if you were a circus trainer, also in terms of with India, when they used elephants a lot in the forestry industry, to train a baby elephant, a small tether, or sometimes a chain, light chain, we put it around the leg of an elephant, and then a small peg would be put in the ground, and the elephant could walk to the end of the chain, but because of the pressure, it would not ever pull out the light peg, even though if it wanted to, it probably could. The elephant would be trained by that light chain. It could walk around the peg and would never go farther. Soon the peg could be taken out altogether, but with the chain still in place, the elephant would never stray. It didn't want to, with its elephant's memory. And then the chain could be taken off. And the elephant, with other training as well, with the memory of an elephant. See, it's imprinted is another word. Today's text, as Jared read so well, speaks about revenge, getting even, an eye for an eye, retribution. And then that call that Jesus gives for unconditional forgiveness and unequivocal love to your neighbors. And then we also hear the word, be ye perfect as the Heavenly Father is perfect. It sounds like quite a call. And again we say saints aren't perfect. And indeed I underline that word perfect in Greek as teleos, which means whole. So it's not even ethical or moral or pure piety. That's not the issue. But it's to be forgiven. But within this knowledge of forgiveness, I wonder if we're not a bit like the baby elephant. Wounded by actions of others, we may nurse grudges or bitterness, which can take root in our very being. And eventually, we become bitter people, and we can't let go of past hurts. We become tethered literally to our past, unable to break free. Even though there's no chains, Christ would separate all the chains of bondage. We cannot fully embrace the future if we don't let go of the past sins, grievances, pain. And I wonder if that's why Jesus speaks so